Genius makes an entrance. Her mouth is full of questions. Are we all bright? Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work to work.
Yeah. Welcome to YellBRo. I'm Jordan. This is James. And tonight we're talking about everything IQ. Probably just Vincent James's video about the NBC article talking about how our IQs are going down. I can feel it. My IQ being drained.
My IQ is lowering because you're sitting right next to me.
But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Please donate. GoFundMe link down below. Damn. Propaganda fucking commented so early, I can't even read the first one. I just see J's. Oh, I'm rolling a J. Death by algorithm.
Come on.
His bookshelf should get out of the frame.
That's inside the park home run.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're fucking host.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Fuck out of here. You don't shit.
Out. You missed second
That's
base.
right. No, I didn't.
Alright, so this is a video from Vincent James of the Red Elephants. Or Elephant, whatever. And I don't know, you might be troubled about the whole IQ thing, that it's lowering. But let's hear. He'll give us context.
So recently NBC published an article that kind of touched on really what the truth is, but not really. They're kind of arguing against themselves in this article here by this writer. But they say in this headline, quote, IQ rates are dropping in many developed countries, and that does not bode well for humanity. This is from NBC. IQ rates are dropping, and that does not bode well for humanity. Now, what's even more surprising is that they bring up one of the arguments within this article, which states, and I quote, alternatively, widening immigration might be bringing less intelligent newcomers into society. Now, they go on to quote another study that potentially disagrees with that potentially refutes that. But we're going to go through a few scientific studies today with you. We're also going to go through the Rustin Jensen study. We're going to go through the decline in IQs and why this is already beginning to happen in America. They say that America's next in this NBC article, but this has already began to happen in America. So we're going to go through all of that. But first, I want to remind you that this video is sponsored. People are worried about buy on hand. So here we have from Evan Horowitz, IQ rates are dropping in many developed countries, and that doesn't bode well for humanity. They say people are getting dumber. That's not a judgment. It's a global fact. In a host of leading...
I would consider that unsubstantiated. Global fact. That sounds like absolute bullshit. Now, if you mean less people give a fuck about academic educations, I might be on board with that one, but dumber? By whose standard? You'll notice a guy like Vince or a guy like Stefan Molyneux will change the standard around to fit whatever narrative they want, which is immigrants, brown-skinned people are lesser. That's why they struggle. It's not governments, fucking with their countries. It's not corporations fucking with their money. It's all just an IQ thing.
Or, even the way the IQ has been measured over the past 100 years.
Yeah. Here we go.
Nations' IQ scores have started to decline. Though there are legitimate questions about the relationship between intelligence and IQ and broad recognition that success depends as much on other virtues like grit, IQ tests in use throughout the world today really do seem to capture something meaningful and durable. Decades of research have shown that individual IQ scores predict things such as educational achievement and longevity.
Educational achievement and longevity. Now, a guy like Nassim Taleb will say IQ measures how obedient you are, how good you are at memorizing information someone else gives you and repeating it back to them. So that fits in educational circles. That fits in academics. So if it fits in academics and I rise up the ladder in academics, I will more likely find a career that pays more money because the society is suited for that type of intelligence.
Yeah, a sick society.
Well, it's not the worst thing. It's just there's no focus on the other ones. The other ones, it's just at your own risk. You want to be a great musician? It's at your own risk.
Well, think of it like, as far as an artist or a musician going to pursue whatever they're going to pursue, as far as you can have your head in the books and be completely analytical and just any idea, whatever you wanted to be in your life. Yeah, fuck that. Head in the books, study day and night.
Yeah.
My special ability is to regurgitate information.
Yeah.
And no meaning.
Analytical intelligence.
There should be like a purpose with that, you know. Like a Norman Finkelstein who probably does that in order to combat the atrocities happening on the other side of the world. Well, Middle East.
So yeah. Analytical intelligence. And if you're in a more of a high status career, well, you're going to make more money. Thus, you're going to be able to afford the best medical care, the best foods, the best whatever. Thus, you live longer. Ta-da! All right, let me read some of these. Propaganda is going off, son. James, your dick duster is getting longer. Mega uber super pause.
I don't understand the slang of the youngsters today.
Mega.
So you have to
uber super.
Listen. You're like 50.
On your part.
You're like 50. You don't get to say anything. Okay.
You said dick duster, and you reach for your mouth.
Weird.
Still.
Listen. You're 50. You don't get to say shit.
It's on record now.
You don't get to... Oh, fuck out of here.
It is on record.
Fuck out of here. You fucking puppy kicking piece of shit. Don't fucking talk to me.
Are you trying to look like John Bolton?
Weak sauce.
Jordan, it doesn't bode well.
I told you.
It's a new fad, bode.
See, that's what I'm saying, though.
Just quit
He
boding.
probably just learned that shit. That sounds smart. I'll say it tomorrow.
We are politically dumber, but this generation is the smartest in human history. We know how to access and use information. Chomsky also talks about traditional education like that. It's either you're obedient or you drop out or just mentally check out. Yeah. Fuck school. For me. Yeah, me personally, it's like fuck
I
school.
have no desire to do that. So
How about this? You guys give me the books and I'll just, whatever amount of time it takes me, I'll learn it on my own. It's more fun to me. Because then I can just drop it if I feel like. Without having to,
repercussions
Hey, you-
of, oh, you owe us $30,000.
Yeah, let the duck. Share the live stream. You want James's live stream in your mouth? I don't know what that means. Fuck.
See, it's not even clever. No.
Alright. Yes, that's right. Fuck school.
Yeah.
Fuck education. Alright,
Fuck it. Education in school is a little bit different.
yeah, I know. Alright, let's continue.
More broadly, the average IQ score of a country is linked to economic growth and scientific innovation.
You sure it's not based on how strong your military is? Unless the military is based on IQ. Because I think there's a lot of technological advances in our society that started in the military first.
Smartphones, from what I heard.
Internet.
Yeah.
But I could be reaching there. Who knows? All right, let's continue.
Right now we have 100 years of IQ data, right? We have about 100 years of IQ data.
And how many tens of thousands of years of human existence? I'm just saying, you compare the two. But whatever.
And it shows a variation between different ethnic groups. It shows a variation. It shows Asians at the top, East Asians more particularly. It shows whites number 2. It shows Hispanics at 3, as far as America goes, and then Black Americans number 4. Now you take a look at greatschools.org. This is a site that I bring up quite often. And you go to any school basically throughout the nation, whether it's in a rich district or a poor district or a middle class district, and you will see that on average, about 95% of the time, you will see Asians at the top of these scores, whether it be English or science. Whites will be second. You'll see Hispanics third, and then you'll see blacks at number 4. Now, even...
Well, thank you for showing me those 4 schools and applying that 95% of them have this particular, demographic of IQ.
At least your top 5.
Yeah. There is no number 5, is there?
Well, there is, but it's the blue people that live in the forest. They just never show up to take the tests. You see?
Well, I think, someone's thinking and their mind is a lot more complicated than whatever test, a piece of paper with questions on it.
Oh, sure.
Basically, puzzles, figuring puzzles out.
Puzzles deemed by a group of people that this is important. This will dictate who rises in our society.
I mean, it's a type of intelligence, but,
I'm not knocking it. It's just when you deem it as the...
Why can't you have a test where it's like, here's an apple, here's a brick, and here's a spoon. You have to use those 3 elements to create a story. Go. Could that be on an IQ test?
It could be.
It's not. So, yeah.
Could, is it,
And so far, just, nitpicking here and there. Let's continue.
Even with English scores for Asians, they're actually above whites in English scores, in English test scores. Now, a lot of people will argue that, it's because they have more access to wealth, and this is the reason why they're able to get higher scores. But this is...
Most people use stereotypes that they're more, the parents are more strict.
Asians?
Yeah.
I thought it was more of a culture of academia and stuff like that.
I don't know about that. A culture of discipline.
My bad, that's what I meant.
D. Xiaopuan.
I'm not
racist?
If you
I'm part Native American, so technically I'm Asian. We had to walk across that giant ice highway to get to North America.
My known ancestral background does not allow me to partake in such.
It's
language.
all jokes, people. If anyone actually watches this. All right, let's continue.
Is just skirting away from the truth. I believe that IQ intelligence is highly heritable, and I actually have scientific studies
let's
to
hear that
back
again.
that up.
Let's hear that again. Go back. Language is very important when we're talking about these things, right?
Yeah.
So I use the word truth, knowing, believing, fact, So if we establish what a fact is, that means like, okay, so it's the truth. 100% true. 100%. Meaning no room for error. Not one little fucking little thing that could possibly get in the way of it being true.
Yeah.
Right? Something can be 99.9999%, and it's still not true. Because there's still that little probability out there that it could be wrong, or it could be this other thing over here. So when he uses, let's hear that again. When he fucking when he contradicts words and shit like that, it gets really weird. Which anybody legitimate that ever talks to this guy, and they're really paying attention to what he's saying, they're gonna fucking embarrass him. They're going to embarrass this guy. Let's hear it.
They're actually above whites in English scores, in English test scores. Now, a lot of people will argue that, it's because they have more access to wealth, and this is the reason why they're able to get higher scores. But this is just skirting away from the truth. I believe...
Skirting away from the truth. I believe. You see how that's a problem?
Yeah.
You can't say, this is the truth. I believe it's the truth. It's like, stop.
Agreed.
Able to get higher scores, but this is just skirting away from the truth. I believe that IQ intelligence is highly heritable, and I actually have scientific studies to back that up.
Just because you believe in something doesn't mean it's the truth. Even if you have studies or statistics, doesn't mean it's true.
This guy believes in a soul, by the way.
Yeah, well, he claims he does.
Just throwing that out
But
there.
based off the evidence and the conversation that I had with him,
He doesn't know.
no, he doesn't know.
Based off the information I've heard, he has no fucking clue.
He doesn't know what a soul is, and basically with everything else he's saying, I'm like, okay, so none of us have free will, and you don't love your family, correct?
Yeah.
Because IQ and genetics and whatever have you, basically makes a group of people, what's the word I'm looking for? More
Susceptible.
to immoral behavior, and it's genetics, so they have no choice over it. And the same thing with us. See, we're less like me, and a bunch of people that look like him are more likely to perform less immoral acts. Less immoral, yes.
So you're saying genetics dictate behavior
According to him.
until you want to believe in God, in which case you shoehorn the word soul in there
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
Got it. Don't worry, Vince will never respond to us.
Oh no! You see, he
fucking
called me a troll, and because he couldn't fucking tell me who or what is the chooser, meaning, is it you or is it your brain? Is it you, the soul, the self, the true individual, you, or is it your brain? Like, what is it?
I've probably said this 100 times. If IQ is dictating your moral behavior, then what is God judging? What's God judging? Why is he judging anything? Is he judging body parts? Maybe. That sounds stupid. But,
Yeah.
All right, let me read some of these. My forestry teacher was so hot. She was higher learning. What's that chick that was in that movie?
Halle Berry?
With Tupac?
Higher Learning?
Yeah. Christy Swanson. There we go.
Higher Learning was Tupac? I thought it was Omar Epps.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Like, whoa.
Halle Berry was in that movie, I think.
No.
Yeah.
No, wait, Tupac wasn't it?
No. You're thinking of Busta Rhymes.
Wasn't it him and, like, Janet Jackson?
Oh, no, dude, that's not Higher Learning. That's some fucking shit where they drive a fucking mail truck to fucking Oakland or whatever the hell. You're thinking of Poetry or something.
Oh, yeah. Poetic Justice.
That's it.
Fuck.
Higher Learning got Larry Fishburne in it.
Propaganda says James having a dick duster isn't a bad thing. But, yeah, you're right. You both have dick dusters and ball ticklers.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Talking to you and your dick duster.
Don't give a fuck.
Your dick
Don't
duster
give a
has a
fuck.
dick duster.
It died a long time ago.
Just saying.
The joke died a long time.
It was a land bridge, you hairy old American.
Probably younger than you,
It was
man.
ice. It was the Ice Age. Hey, I believe in a soul. Without one, we don't have shoes. Ha 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 ha. I'll write that down in my diary later and laugh about it.
You have a diary?
Yeah. James, you're not a troll. I'm a fucking troll. Says propaganda. Yeah.
To each his own.
All right. Let's hear more from Vince on IQ.
Good thing I
How
saved that.
heritable it is.
Good thing I archived that conversation that we had. 'Cause this is the type of guy that would fucking delete it. Just being honest. And this is back when he didn't have a lot of followers on Instagram.
That was someone asking an intellectual question, and he deemed it as a troll.
Yeah.
A troll is like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Joke, joke, joke.
I'm
Fuck you,
asking
fuck you,
him,
fuck you.
who or what is the chooser?
Stop trolling. You know I don't know the answer. So I'm going to call it trolling. He'll never respond to us.
Oh, never again. He'll never do
I
it.
want
By,
to see a video.
he'll never do it by video. He has too many subscribers. We did it on Instagram. Now he just ignored me. Then I just stopped because his fanboy started arguing with me.
Yeah, but that's fun too.
And that never ended well.
I got tattoos, like tally marks of victims of Stefan Molyneux on Twitter.
Oh, so you're like, what's his name?
Molyneux fan.
You're like the Nightcrawler.
No, I'm Sonny from that ANC show.
ANC.
Yeah, the karate kung fu one.
Badlands?
Into the Badlands. Yeah, I'm like Sonny.
Is that cool?
I like it. It's a change of pace. Anyways, let's continue with.
So you change your pace, Paul.
Let's continue with the high IQ Vincent James.
Yeah. Okay.
But first, let's get more into this NBC article here. For a while, rising IQ scores seemed like clear evidence of social progress, palpable proof that humanity was getting steadily smarter and might even be able to boost brain power indefinitely. Scholars called it the Flynn effect, in homage to J.R. Flynn, the researcher who recognized its full sweep and import. These days, however, Flynn himself concedes that the IQ gains of the 20th century have faltered. A range of studies using a variety of well-established IQ tests and metrics have found declining scores across Scandinavia, Britain, Germany, France, and Australia.
Now I know what you're thinking. What's Vincent James's biggest issue
Oh, I can
when
tell
it
you.
comes to life? For some reason in life, this is his biggest issue.
Oh, I can tell you right now. Immigration.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing he's going to tie immigration into why these countries' IQs go down.
Mm-hmm.
He's in for a surprise, though.
And why movie theaters just go out of business.
We're really doing this video just to get to the part where he starts scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't lie, he holds himself together better than Mr. Molyneux does. Mr. Narcissistic Psychopath, probably.
I believe fuck it. I believe Vincent James is an idiot. I believe Stefan Molyneux is a psychopath.
It's starting to look that way. What's up, Frosty? All right, so here we go. All those countries that Vincent James just named, his reason is going to be immigration. Why their average IQ lowered.
They say one potential explanation was quasi-eugenic, as in the movie Idiocracy. It was suggested that average intelligence is being pulled down because lower IQ families are having more children. Dystenic fertility is the technical term. Alternatively, widening immigration might be bringing less intelligent newcomers to societies with otherwise higher IQs. Now, they say that this could be based on Idiocracy. Many lower IQ families are
Great movie, by the way.
Probably sailed past him.
having more children. But when you actually look into the statistics, we have been below replacement rate throughout all of the West. All of the West since the 1970s. We are not replacing ourselves. We have been below replacement birth rate. The birth rate to replace yourselves is 2.1. You have to have at least 2.1 children to replace the couple having children. That's obviously, everyone knows that, right?
No. What?
No one else is thinking
Pick
about
up that tablet.
Why?
Real quick. So, who just joined the chat?
Frosty Buckets. Go paint yourself, motherfucker.
Every time, Frosty joins, I'll just do that. It's got frosted tips, see? Plus.
I gotta find a way to configure some sort of contraption on there so that when you pick it up, it pulls a lever and, I don't know, there's a pie in your face or something like that. An arm just opens up and goes, and then I laugh. I laugh really hard.
And then I'll cry for all the poor children who don't get to eat pie. Asshole. Play the video.
All right. Oh, so, okay. When he says replacement, he means white people, I think, exclusively. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, also, these guys, you know, they don't want the pollution of their race. So, if you have someone like Barack Obama, where it's a black dad, or one parent's black and one parent's white, and they have a kid, that kid is no longer considered white at all. They're just considered black, period. So it's not like the white gene just disappears. It's just in their minds, it's diluted, so it doesn't count as white, but it does count as black somehow. It's very weird. But let's continue.
We have been below that rate since the 1970s, and as a matter of fact, even before that in a lot of other Western countries. So and we went from, let's say, 1950, our population was about 200 million people. Today, we're at 325 million people. So how did our population increase so substantially if we're below replacement rate? Well, it's because of immigration and the children that the poor immigrant families are having in America. We've been below replacement rate. We can't replace. If without immigration, our population would have remained pretty steady since the 1950s. Without immigration, it would remain relatively the same.
We don't know that. So he can't say that as like a fact. But I can get his thinking where he's getting that. Let's continue.
Right? And this brings up the whole ridiculousness that the media always tries to tell you. Like, for instance, you look at one Bloomberg article, it tells you that to fight climate change, have less children. Then you look at another Bloomberg article, and it says, we're at the lowest birth rates ever, and only immigrants can replace our dying population, right? So you understand that this is a clear agenda here. And when you...
Once again, it doesn't matter. I think for him, it doesn't matter what race. If it's one white parent and one anything else, the baby's no longer white at all. Mm-hmm. They will become that other race. Mm-hmm. So, you can do things like that.
To him, race is identity.
Well, to him, white means just pure European. It can't be anything else.
He's saying it's who we are.
Like, why can't I say...
That's ridiculous.
Like, could I say Obama is a white man? I couldn't get away with that, right?
No, you could not here. No, not in Alaska.
Well, you just call him half black, half white. But I think most people just call him black. Thus, when you see the replacement numbers, like those guys are just considered black. Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's continue.
You look at when you understand the fact that our population would have remained relatively the same without any immigration since the 1950s.
The fact that our what?
Our population would have remained the same since the 1950s.
So it's a fact.
He doesn't know that.
See, this is the problem I have with when he fucking talks like this. You can't fucking say words like this because if he's ever on a podium and he's facing somebody else in some sort of debate or some sort of public discussion regarding this topic. he's gonna fucking, it's gonna look bad. Like when that thing he pulled with fucking Jesse Lee Peterson and Destiny.
Yeah. It's
like, listen, dude, in a legitimate fucking setting, that moderator is not gonna be tag teaming with you, doing a handicap match against one dude. It ain't gonna happen. And your little binder trick ain't gonna work either.
Yeah.
You just saying statistics. What did Destiny call it? You can't what specifically? He's saying what was it?
Correlation doesn't equal...
Oh, yeah, correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah.
You're confusing the two. He does it a lot. His language is poor as well. When he uses the word fact, and then what he really means is, well, I believe this would happen. All right, then you can't say it's a fact. So if we get down to what a fact really consists of, then we have to dig deeper, and we find out, oh, so what's the truth?
Well, he can't do that because he has a narrative to sell his audience.
I know, but you're going to see how fast this guy starts to crumble and scatter and start to try to pick up the pieces to build up some sort of a opposing argument.
Well, I think we'll hear something later in this video to where he'll do that.
Oh, really?
That's why I think this article is golden. It's just little gems here and there. Like, come on, we're stringing you along. We're saying the same narrative you say over and over again. Mm-hmm. And here's this. All right, let's continue.
And when you look at the fact that our IQs are dropping all across the Western countries, and you look at the countries that have high rates of immigration, such as coming from third world countries, like 32 of the 50 states right now, the main source of immigration is coming from Mexico, whereas back in the 1950s, most of the states had a healthy mix of Western and Northern European countries. So we overhauled our immigration system. So then obviously the argument would be...
Huh?
Play that back again.
32 of the 50 states right now, the main source of immigration is coming from Mexico, whereas back in the 1950s, most of the states had a healthy mix of Western and Northern European countries.
A healthy mix? Do you see the words this guy uses?
Yeah.
Now, do you understand why, like, some people might say this dude dog whistles like a motherfucker? They had a healthy mix. What the fuck does that mean? A healthy mix of European?
Yeah.
See, this guy's a coward.
Actually, if you look at
He's a coward because he won't fucking just outright say it. You know, when Destiny called him out, I don't know why you have these pictures whenever on your videos, like when you're talking about criminals or whatever the fuck, or poor people, and you show black people in the background, and whenever you talk about white people, and it shows fucking like 1950s fantasy land, fucking Pleasantville shit.
yeah.
It's like he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
I don't know why you have to make it a race thing.
I'm not insinuating anything.
It's like, yeah, you are, you coward.
Yeah.
You know what the fuck you're doing. It's like if I say black people and I show fucking Master P. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's them. And I say white guy and I show fucking Chuck Todd
Yeah.
and his family near a fireplace. You know?
Vincent James should definitely, for God's sake, avoid
anybody legitimate.
avoid people like us for your own sake. Let's continue. Oh, by the way, aren't Mexicans a good mixture of European as well? Ample mixture of European.
They don't want to talk about that.
Right? Spain? Ah, whatever. Let's continue.
Remember,
So we overhaul
pigment.
Ah, okay.
their immigration
More time?
system. So then
See, if he had his way, they're still going to have the same problem, and then they're going to look further. They're going to find out, well, the Europeans that get darker under the sun, like the Italians, you have to get them out of here too.
I think they'd go in a different direction. They'd look for IQ scores,
Sure, but then they're also going to, well,
which they don't seem to bring up that much.
well, hey, well, listen,
because they go on averages. See how that works?
Well, yeah, I understand that, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. They're going to find any sort of defense. So if anybody, like, see, that guy's a low IQ, and he's European. What are you going to do? He just shot people. Yeah, but he's a special case, though. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, that JF guy, JF Gariepi, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Talking about the New Zealand shooter. He's like, doesn't seem to be low IQ. So it's like, why were you looking for that? This guy
I
just
know.
shot people.
Was that the first thing you looked for?
Well, they need their narrative to continue on.
I know.
Which is, low IQ means you're more likely to do dumb shit. Well, violent shit against other people.
You're genetically predisposed to do immoral acts.
The warrior gene.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Or whatever considered the warrior gene. Ha!
Let's continue.
The warrior gene.
And obviously, the argument would be the only argument that makes logical sense to me, and I'm not a scientist, but that they mentioned here in this NBC
Clearly.
article is what they said. Alternatively, widening immigration might be bringing less intelligent newcomers to society. Now,
Less intelligent or less educated. There's a huge difference there. Less academically educated or less intelligent. I think it's less standardized academically and educated. That's what I think. I mean, these guys are picking up their bags and trying to run across the border or smuggle themselves into a country.
I think
They're
I saw.
not fucking taking private jets here.
I saw a video of I believe it was a mother and her two children trying to run across the border. I wonder why the fuck someone would take that risk.
Yeah.
I wonder. It's because they want to lower IQ. That's why.
That's happening because they have low IQs. Do you not understand that? I think that's a bullshit argument.
What?
Well, if someone could have an interest in analytical intelligence,
Yeah, but
in analytical things,
isn't it?
but once your home gets foreclosed or your country's being run by a dictator all of a sudden, a U.S.-backed dictator, or we destabilize your country or someone else destabilizes your country. It's like,
But you see how there's a
It's like, fuck books. I need food.
There's an appropriate
Get some food first.
approach to these things. Charles Murray, right? What the fuck did he say at the end of one of our videos? Well, he said it regardless. Oh, you basically said something like you cannot discount the individual, and then he said something else.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, and he said something else. You said it earlier. Don't remember.
What?
Something else that he said.
You tell me.
You fucking said it. I don't remember, man.
I don't remember either.
It's because you're fucking like 55 or something.
It's because I don't give a fuck about Charles Murray.
We bring up his name. We have a fucking topic in this discussion. In the discussion, you should care what you.
I can say I don't need him. I don't need his words. As
no, you
validation.
don't. But when they bring it up, and it's like, you see the bell curve. I'm like, yeah, but even that guy who wrote that, or whatever it is, a book or a paper.
These guys say, well.
Here's my point. When they use somebody's name and they use their work and they want to fucking draw a line to the point where we're going to stop here, I'm like, yeah, they're not going to tell you everything else they say because they don't want you to know what else they say. That. Say what?
You can't discount the individual.
Oh, then they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They do say that.
He says it.
Stefan says it. Vince, I don't know if he says it or not.
No, it's different.
The point is they imply something else. They imply something else.
All right.
Like, that's not a focus when they're arguing about this stuff. Let's continue.
Now, when we go back to this particular article here, you can see that they say, however, a study of Norway has punctured through these theories by showing that IQs are dropping, not just across societies, but within families. In other words, the issue is not that educated Norwegians are increasingly outnumbered by lower IQ immigrants or that children of less educated citizens, even children born to high IQ parents, are slipping down the IQ ladder.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he has charts for that. Charts and data sets. Just have a bookshelf of it, of all these books talking about, even the high IQ parents are having lower IQ children.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I don't think IQ means intelligence at all.
I don't. I think to me, it's just one's part of the spectrum of intelligence.
Well, it's like if someone's like, blah, blah, I can figure out this equation and blah, blah, blah. And then some guy just walks by like, do you like doing this?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's like, who's fucking stupid now? Like, you're the dummy.
Then there's a guy that's like, oh, I like this. Okay, cool. It's no different to me. It's no different than Mayweather. Oh, you see how he has body intelligence, and body intelligence applied to a specific field like boxing. Then there's fuckers like Picasso. See, that's a type of intelligence.
Yeah.
No different than a fucking DJ. That's a type of intelligence.
In fact, even like an emotional intelligence to be able to tell how someone's feeling. Like, you okay, man? You look down.
A director.
I
can keep going.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's continue.
Even moral intelligence, but let's not go there.
Okay, so Vince gets the news that even regardless of the immigration, people are still, I guess, normal families in Norway or wherever in Europe, their IQs are also falling.
Mm.
Let's see how Vincent explains this.
Now, we could say that, there is probably some sort of difference or deviation in IQ within families. Like, let's say the high IQ parents have a lower IQ kid, and we could say that could possibly be due to, access to social media, access to internet. We're not trying hard enough to, maybe it's changing over one generation. I don't know how can that possibly be, but maybe it's.
Do you not see how that could be possible? Because you're locked in this mindset that people's IQ are fixed and can never change, even though they came about through evolution in the first fucking place.
Mm.
That's why these guys make no fucking sense. They speak about IQ as if it's fixed, as a fixed fucking thing. This is your fucking number. Here it is. It's fixed. Well, how'd you get those? How did these guys get high IQ and these guys get low IQ? Well, we evolved in the colder weather to where we had to struggle harder and use our IQ to figure out how to farm in cold environments. And these guys just had it easy. They just fed off the land, so their IQ stayed down. And it's like, so evolution then, right? Precisely. So can IQs change now? No, it's fixed. It stays where it's at.
Huh.
We stopped evolving. We stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, isn't the mind a little bit more complicated than what you guys are going on about? I mean, apparently there's IQ changes within. It's not really even like a generational thing. It's like just from parent to kid.
Yeah.
In one turnaround. Whatever. Isaiah for 3. Should I read these?
Go ahead.
Don't get jealous, guys. I see a new commenter. Alright, where'd I get lost at? Oh, Frosty saying what up. Everyone pick on Jordan for a week. It's a new thing I'm trying. Fuck you, propaganda. Smash that like button with a rake. Jesus loves you. Jordan, can I have your number so I can prank you? No.
Jeez.
We all came from Africa. Jordan is our dad. I'm not your dad. I'm your daddy. Get it? Get that shit
You're
right.
my daddy, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking
Propaganda. This guy is as racist as Muay Thai. Hey, Muay Thai's not here to defend himself.
Ooh.
Frosty Buckets leaves a... I don't even know what that is. A Colts logo. Indianapolis Colts. And then a thought bubble. Or a speech bubble. Whatever they're called. And that's right. That isn't an argument. It's not.
I don't know. Who's
Do I sound like I'm wrong? Yeah, it's not an argument then.
Right. Of course.
Propaganda. James is kind of intelligent. James is the kind of intelligence you can cook some koshes with.
Remember, it was explained to us how to say that.
Isaiah says with the Jimi Hendrix logo. I'm liking that. This guy has a fundamental misunderstanding of intelligence and how it can be quantified. It's very simplistic, uneducated view, basically a guess. Oh, that's good. Yeah. You can take an IQ test on 2 different days and get vastly different results. There's things like motivation.
Yeah, like I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
I don't think this is important.
Like, do I give a shit?
I don't care. Then you're like a parental influence on the child, where it's just you will do this. You will get high scores. Anything of interest, just bury that. You're gonna have your head in the books.
Yes.
You will do this, and they get high scores and all that stuff. Yeah, are they? Is that real? Is that real intelligence?
Yeah, and I talked about this before. As far as IQ tests, I just put it in laws of like probability, as in you can not know any of this shit, and if it's multiple choice, you just close your eyes and hit whatever choice.
Oh yeah.
And score higher than some guy who's studied his whole life. Whatever.
That's fucked up.
It's a bunch of factors.
It's like closing your eyes and swinging as hard as you can. You hit a home run. It's like, oh shit.
Propaganda. Isaiah blocked me because UFC is fake. It's couscous.
Yeah.
How dare you block me? I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
I don't know.
They're talking to each other. Whatever. These damn kids. Alright. So, Vince's response so far has been, social media, kids on the internet too much. That could be an otherwise he has no other way to explain how this phenomenon.
I thought he said it was a fact.
It was a fact before he read that.
Right.
Now he's changing his tune. I told you this fucking article
Right,
is
look,
like a trap or
There's
something.
a social understanding of, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Man, fuck A-Rod. I know, man. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, he's fucking trash. No, he's not. He's awesome. When he's off
There's a
steroids.
social understanding of I know. Then there's I really don't know what he means, but I have a good idea what he knows. I have a good idea of what he means,
Yeah.
what I'm hearing, how I apply it too. There's a similarity, and I can relate. Hence, I have an idea what you mean, or social understanding of, no, I know what you mean. This guy throws it around. Guys like this guy throw that fucking word around like it's fucking a hot potato, you know? It's a fact. I know. I believe.
Well, they do things like where they stare at the camera and they say it's scientific fact.
It's like, fuck, what? No.
So once again,
No, you can't do that, man.
for me, the logic seems weird here because you're telling me that IQ can diminish from parent to child, but
It's fucking... It's out
but
there.
the average IQs are this, and they're just fixed that way, and it's like it's too much.
It's a load of bullshit, man.
It seems like a lot of mental gymnastics. We watched Stefan Molyneux, and what was his excuse exactly? His excuse was people move. It was like a law of averages.
Mm-hmm.
Like people will move towards the mean IQ level. Meaning, if you have parents with 160 IQ, the kid will come out as a 125 IQ because for some reason they want to move towards the average. It was one of the worst explanations I've ever heard. And completely wiped away all the previous shit he said when it comes to IQ. I think he made a justification about the leaders in South Africa during apartheid not allowing the blacks to vote because, well, they've studied IQ. They know that stuff. So if you let them vote, their IQs they're gonna make bad choices. So they know. So they knew not to let them vote. He fucking said that shit.
Ridiculous.
I think even the fan he was talking to was taken back. Like what? Also, Stefan Molyneux calls himself a philosopher, yet has no explanation for free will. Right? He doesn't believe in a soul or a ghost in the machine. He believes we are our brains, and somehow the brain produces free will. Yeah, think about that. That makes no fucking sense. All right, let's continue. Because I think he has more excuses for why, the high IQ parents came out with a lower IQ child. Here we go.
Changing because we have much quicker access to information. I mean, for instance, you look at the recent article.
How would that lower your IQ? You have more information in a quicker amount of time. How would that lower your IQ? Does that make sense? Am I tripping here? Does that make any sense? You see, his IQ lowered because he was trapped in a library with all the books with all the information in the world.
Yeah.
So his IQ just lowered from being there. There's too much content. Stop it. Let's continue.
I covered on my second channel, and you can see that a rise in mental disorder can be attributed to a lack of outdoor access, a lack of experiencing outdoors, a lack of experiencing nature, and more so, everyone kind of immersed in this social media culture, in this internet culture.
Pause it. That just reminded me. I remember he said something like that on his Instagram. It's like, take your kids camping and shooting.
All right. Take your kids camping, ...
And shooting.
And shooting. Because that's original to nature. Guns, gunpowder, kaboom, pull trigger, boom.
This guy's such a fucking disgrace, man.
It wasn't rock climbing. It was shoot this, I don't know, this mechanized technology thing.
Like, I'm not shitting on it. It's just, like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy.
And I think people should experience as much as they can. But if you're trapped in a fucking cell or something or you're trapped in a house or whatever, you can fucking adapt. It's not fucking warping your brain or anything like that. I also make a distinction between the brain and the mind, but that's my metaphysical woo-woo-ness. So, yeah. And also, my definition, this is nature. I hate when people do that. I think Michael Desarian I think he mentions that.
What?
Like, this is nature. Walls and machines and all that. Where does it come from? They just magically pop up here?
It's no different, like, right? When people say,
What are we?
when
Are
people
we
say,
nature as well?
this technology, it's not natural. It's like, beavers build dams, right?
Yeah,
Is that natural?
exactly.
So,
It's like, aren't we nature too?
yeah.
So it's a weird thing. Alright, I'll read some of these. Yeah. Give me that tablet. Yeah. It's mine. Propaganda. Let's see someone with high IQ think in the Dragon Ball tournaments.
Someone.
I'm not a Dragon Ball Z.
He means whoever that is means the Budokai Tenkaichi tournaments.
Frosty Buckets. I block propaganda too. Everyone should block propaganda because it's nothing but pure propaganda.
Do what thou wilt.
I'm just playing. Don't block propaganda. He kept telling me about his new grow. Fucking narcissist. They got the best weed, bro. Matt Hunter. Question.
Ooh.
Why don't blacks on average do as well as whites? What do you mean by as well? What does that mean? Good luck. Propaganda. I don't believe in the ghost in the shell. Fuck that shit. Jordan believes that. Therefore, I'm out. How dare you? Matt Hunter, liberal answer, because of racist, systemic racism.
Somebody who only sees things through a political kaleidoscope.
Hey, go beat up on those guys. I don't mind that. Conservative answer, because of racist, liberal policies. Okay.
Like, that's not going to have much ground here, man.
Frosty, cracking jokes on Matt Hunter. Isaiah says, it's because of a long list of things, but you're simple, so you want a one-sentence answer. Matt Hunter, these guys answer because of bad ideas, corruption, and conditioning. You actually heard our answers.
Well, see, it's one thing to hear something, and there's another thing to be able to understand what we're saying.
Oh, I can explain all those.
Well,
Quite point blankly explain all those.
let's do it.
No.
Why not?
We'll get to it if we have to. I think we have explained it.
Well, this is what happens whenever we do, and it's a back and forth conversation between that individual over there. He disappears, or he ignores the question that's being asked, but eventually just disappears.
He gets ghost.
That's just what I see happen. I mean, whenever
It's the ignorant shit you like.
it happens, man.
Propaganda. Matt Hunter, you piece of all. Whatever. Matt Hunter, honest answer, because of a tragic combination of IQ deficiency and elevated testosterone levels. How did that happen, Matt? And did you miss the part of this article where Vince got to even the high IQ parents are having lower IQ children?
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah, where'd you get your degree in genetics? I don't think you did. But I don't mind that. Just make an argument. That's funny. Propaganda says, Matt is when you piss in the wind and it hits your lips. That's fucking funny.
Jeez, man. That's just ruthless.
Don't disappear, James, you soggy old fish lip. Says proper game. You filthy big lip beast.
It's like, you big lip beast. See, it's funny because he didn't do that. But if he's like,
I'll sentence you to jail, where I'm sure you'll convert to Islam.
jeez, man.
Chappelle Show, if you motherfuckers didn't know. All right, let's continue. Where do we leave off? Vince is continuing to explain why these European kids' IQs are lowering. I mean, for other people, it's just, what is it, hereditary? It's just hereditary. It's it might be something Matt says, like testosterone levels, or it's just a fact and root. It's just a fact of nature. But for the European kids, it's, you know, they're too much video games, on social media too much. They're not out in nature enough. So let's hear more from Vince.
Where you have instant gratification and access to information at your fingertips within a matter of seconds. You could...
Once again, why is that? How would that lower your IQ? Maybe, does he mean the type of information? But if he means the type of information, then it's environmental, not genetic, right? So I'm confused where he's going with all this.
argue that. But I would say that a lot of other studies also point to the widening immigration bringing less intelligent newcomers into societies as well. Because how can that not be true when you consider the fact that you look at the world rank in IQs and you see these different countries?
All right, before he gets to that, okay. They're bringing the average IQ down. That shouldn't mean anything, right? Because if you have the native people there, then it doesn't affect their IQs just because lower IQ people come around. It shouldn't if it's hereditary like that. If it is affecting it, then IQ is environmental. So you see the maze, the gymnastics you'll have to do to hold this shit up.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that Stefan Molyneux brought up was, what did he say? The immigrants with their low IQs were pulling down the other people's IQs. Within their own minds, pulling their IQs down because they're trying to move towards the average for some subconscious reason. Maybe it's to fit in. I don't know. I would respect that. But hey, I want to fit in, so.
Or just a group of people are going like, I don't think this is important.
Yeah.
Let me go do something else that I actually enjoy.
What up, King Me? I see you.
That's it.
Dipset. What?
Gotta tuck it like.
All right, let's continue. So he's going to go off and start reading countries about their average IQs because this is so important. And this says nothing about corruption, does it?
No.
And,
It doesn't.
yeah, all right, here we go.
And you see the average IQs of some of these different countries. And you can see, once again, the Haitians at the top there. You can see the average IQs of some of these different countries. And let's say you go to the United States, average IQ is 98. And then you go down to Mexico, and you see that the average IQ in Mexico is 88. So if 32 of the 50 states, the main source of immigration is coming from Mexico, and then those people are having children, and most of our population is due solely to immigration and the children that they have, how in the world can that not be true? It's because of immigration. Just for America, for instance. You look at some of the other European countries, I'm sure it's the case as well. We go to this study. This is from hartford.edu. And they go on to talk about the drop in IQ rates in America. And they say, what are the consequences of lower IQ rates? And they say one major one is lack of motivation to further your education. So higher dropout rates begin to surface.
Wow, look at that.
If you don't like school, it'll lower your IQ. Imagine that.
I know.
It's almost like they developed the school system to benefit people who will suck up to the teacher. I'm just playing.
Look, I'm not shitting. I'm not trying to shit on school. I'm just trying to shit on the.
I'll shit on the system of it.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's better. Because look, someone could really be into that whole academia thing, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's just, I'm gonna have my head in the books, I'm just not gonna look at anything or decide to find out who I really am or pursue my interests. Just regurgitate information later on, and then I'll have some sort of internet show where I just spew propaganda, and my daddy writes articles about me, supporting me.
I honest to God just think these systems are lazy, as in they just want something.
It could be
something that'll just measure everyone, and they don't have to worry about it. Just take these standardized tests. Here's similar questions across the nation, and that'll just dictate where you fall in the rest.
It could be so much better, and it'd be awesome. It would be.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
With higher dropout rates, the dropouts turn to other ways to attain income. The methods often involve illegal activities such as robbery, prostitution, etc., etc., etc. Other consequences of lower IQ are a steep rise in illegitimate births and a lower rate of marriages. So, and it goes on to talk about also a book, The Flynn Effect. It goes on to talk about the Flynn Effect, which is what the NBC article talks about. And it also goes on to talk about in this study about a higher rate of crime, based on a lower IQ. Now,
that didn't say crime. That said aggressiveness, which is a whole different world. That's like saying terror. It's like, what? I possess terror, and I throw it upon you. I can measure it. I can measure your terror level. It's like, what? That's just a weird one. But, yeah. I mean, I hate to keep saying the same thing again.
You're going to have to say the same thing again very soon if you look down over there.
Well, you know, who's robbing people? Is it LeBron James and his kids?
No.
Well, it could be his kids.
Well, I don't know.
I heard this song from 50 Cent. I'm going to rob someone. That could happen.
Sure.
It happens in white communities as well to steal this. But
I want to be a gangster.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. All right, let me read some of these. I'm sure I'm getting debunked somewhere. Where'd I get? Propaganda. You boys seen Old Greg before? I have no fucking clue. You said that before. I don't know what it is. Still. James looks like a scally old man fish.
Scaly.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's spelled right, though.
I used to think I was
Maybe
pretty, but oh well.
It's my low IQ. I can't read. I mean, Jordan. James looks like Jesse from Breaking Bad or one of the Mexicans from Training Day. Were you in Training Day?
I was in Blood In, Blood Out.
Wasn't that dude Arab? The dude whose niece got, like, attempted rape or whatever in Training Day?
Could be.
That dude looked Arab.
Orale, vato. What's good, I say?
King Me says, what even is this dude?
He is
He's
someone.
a cultured man. He's very cultured.
Huh. If you want to call it that.
Push real hard, James. From Propaganda. Propaganda also says he is a right-wing Nazi. I don't know about that. I think he's just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Look, if you look at things purely through statistics, right?
Yeah.
I can see why some people would come to this conclusion.
Yeah. Matt Hunter, when Europe was producing Newton and Shakespeare, why had blacks in Africa yet to produce a wheel or a written language?
Oh, wow, look, he ignored
Those
that
are
question.
made up, right?
He ignored that question you had for him.
I forgot the question I had for him, to be honest with
All
you.
I'm saying is this, though.
Are you sure they didn't have a wheel? You sure about that? What if they purposely had an oral tradition of storytelling? What if they had castles and shit? But, later on, people claimed them as their own. Some sort of Messiah figure entered Africa and created these things, and left and vanished. And then it was just waiting there for the Africans. I don't know. Isaiah, these are the same mother effers that tell you to go F yourself when you suggest investing in education. Yeah. Well, they don't. It's the welfare state, and you don't want to participate in the welfare state.
The welfare state, yes.
I mean, they should implement something that helps everyone. Because there's plenty of people of all different ethnicities and cultures and all that shit that say fuck school. Some guys just want to play baseball, or they want to play the guitar, or whatever.
Yeah, ain't
Can't
nothing.
there be schools for that? To where they get the basic things, and then the rest is just fucking guitar all fucking day.
Yeah.
Starting a band, whatever. That wouldn't be too rock and roll, would it, though?
What would be?
You don't want uniform classes and then fucking stage dive the next weekend.
You want it by choice.
Yeah.
Then it's
Fucking
rock and roll.
posers.
Then it's true rock and roll.
Teach myself. Kingme says IQ actually barely has anything to do with intelligence. I agree. Well, barely has anything to do with other types of intelligence. It would probably contribute to analytical intelligence, but what's analytical intelligence unless it's applied somewhere? What's the point of it? So you're going to need other types of intelligence with you. Buck nails. Should name him Buck Nasty.
I tried, but it's not here.
Propaganda. Don't mind the guy in the red hat, guys. That's James's little brother. He taught him everything he knows, and he still doesn't know anything.
You know, that was supposed to be a secret kept between us, but,
Matt Hunter. Liberal logic. Inner city public schools are producing uneducated, violent blacks. Let's reward those schools by giving them more money. Isn't that a typical Republican talking point or conservative talking point? I don't know. I'm in the mindset of actually helping people. I don't care to win a game against some other team or something.
Hey Matt, I'm really curious what you think. Who or what is the chooser when it comes to making a moral decision?
Mind, body, or soul.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know what you think. Who or what's the chooser?
Frosty is so baked right now. This guy is so trippy. I don't know how you can get high and listen to this shit. I'd be like, fuck this. I'm going to put some metric on. Jam.
See.
Isaiah says, yeah, so they can hire professionals as teachers and purchase better media. Explain that one. What do you mean by purchase better media? Maybe something we were saying before.
Maybe.
And I waited too long to get to the comment. Frosty says, James is so gangster. Which James? Vincent James? Or James James?
It's probably not me.
Propaganda. I debunk all of that. I'm not reading that. That sounded, my mind's in the gutter maybe. Anyways. Propaganda. James, nice kicks.
Thanks.
Statistically, he is Nazi. Alright. Says propaganda.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a Nazi. I don't think so.
Kingme says, what's a welfare state? Well, you need to do more studying of Stefan Molyneux, the most popular and important philosopher of our times. There may not be another one of him in another 2,000 years.
Yeah, okay, yeah. One that gets laughed at. What would Stefan Molyneux mean when he says welfare state, specifically?
Redistributing wealth to the poor people.
Oh, that's such a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Such a horrible, horrible thing to do. Fuck them, right?
What you need to do is complete free market so that these giant corporations can create more jobs for other people to slave at for the rest of their lives.
Right.
And be happy doing it.
With a smile on their face.
Yes.
Oh.
Minimum wage? That's socialism.
Like actively trying to make the world a worse place.
Propaganda says Matt obfuscates like a turtle head out. Like a turtle head out Muay Thai's ass. Fuck. Prairie dogging.
Prairie dogging?
Yeah. Like a prairie dog.
Mm-mm.
There was this movie back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of it.
50s?
No. In like the 2000s, early 2000s.
Oh,
Mid to early 2000s.
It's a long time ago.
Rat Race was the name of the movie.
Rat Race.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
kid had to take a shit. And he's like, come on, Dad, I'm prairie dogging. prairie dogs are like,
Oh, fucking crowning.
yeah.
Okay. That's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Prairie dog.
King Me says, let's have a crippled, schizo-autistic teenager that can time travel run the country. Well, you're in luck. I'm not a teenager anymore.
I'm 23, man. It's too late for me.
I can time travel, though. Isaiah, Matt Hunter, why don't you... that's between them.
Mm.
Frosty, Noam Chomsky writes about the welfare state and on anarchism. It's important to have in capitalism. Well, I think, once again, I think the best system would end up being a mixture of systems. Just whatever's needed, right? It's like, some people don't care to, like, worry about, they don't want to have to care about their next meal or anything. So they don't really care to have a free market. They just be like, here's your food. Okay. And there's people that want to, like, I want to pick out my meals and do this thing and all that.
Yeah.
So why not have a mixture of both? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking utopia or something, but why the fuck not? Why the fuck don't we fuck? Why is that a bad word?
You see,
Because it's not realistic, because of human nature. We'll always be violent. We'll always kill each other, and we'll always want more power.
yeah, that weekend, that weekend.
That's for children.
That's it.
Huh?
That's the one. Because of human nature.
Yeah.
Oh, see how easy that is?
Yeah,
how
that,
easy to say?
the way people normally look at utopias
Uh-huh.
is the way I look at those guys when they say human nature
Ah.
will always be violent. I'm like, you're a child. If you've done the work I've done, you'll see, like, oh, okay.
I got you.
Study some psychology. Your own psychology. I don't mean buy a psychology book. Like, study your own psyche. And you tell me.
Are you people ready? This is how you meditate. Ready? Fold your legs. Sit under a waterfall.
Matt Hunter, yep. Blacks invented civilization and evil Whitey stole it away from them. Stole it in such a way where blacks have never been able to get it back. Not what I said at all.
All right, he's gonna ignore us. So he'll let us know if he wants a real conversation. He'll let us know, like an adult.
Propaganda. Boys, my new grow is really good. Sativa all day, 3 plants, and I took clones. Don't use Roundup.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. Give them that Roundup treatment. I'll just finish these off. What was your question, dude? Matt Hunter asks.
Who or what is the chooser?
When it comes to moral questions.
Yeah.
Isaiah's talking to Matt. Propaganda, human nature is bullshit. People have been raised by dogs. They are no longer human. I really dislike broad. I understand using broad categories, but at the same time, it's like, I'm Jordan. Like, are you human? I'm Jordan.
I can't put into words right now.
Are you straight? I'm Jordan. Are you gay? I'm Jordan. Are you a Braves fan? Yes.
Haha. Just be yourself, right?
Yeah. King me. I just want to live in a world where me and my bitches can snort coke off a hooker's ass at 3 a.m. Is that too much to ask? No, it's not. And if you vote for me for president, I will make sure that happens.
And what will you do with the winnings, sir? What will you spend the money on? Hookers and cocaine. Oh, okay.
Oh my. All right. Let's continue with Vincent James. Only 5 minutes left in this shit. Here we go.
A lot of people have been arguing, including a lot of scientists who have been shamed and shunned because of saying this, but a lot of people say that not only is IQ highly heritable, but a lower IQ mixed with higher serum testosterone levels and also a short time horizon, meaning instant gratification, you're biologically predisposed to have more of a search to seek out instant gratification more.
And what would happen if you told them that? What would happen if they told themselves that? If they just spent a day, like, just observe all your actions. Don't judge it, just observe it. It's like, fuck, I'm pretty impulsive. It's like, oh, I observed myself being impulsive. I can choose different?
See how easy that is?
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty simple.
It's sort of like when I observe things, I change things. Holy shit. I'm living in a world, I'm just walking about, nothing going on here. I feel good, I look good. Okay. Hey, Jordan, you have something in your teeth. My reality just changed. Observation.
I didn't want to tell you, but...
Fuck.
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why do you persist? Because I choose to.
That's called existentialism. That's called metaphysics.
What's this?
That's called, dare I say, spirituality, motherfuckers.
Is this a game?
You're trolling, you son. You're fucking trolling.
What is this, man? Who is this?
If you play one of their games and they get so old, or you play the game and the game gets so old that some of the players start aging badly.
I bet, yeah.
All right, so let's continue.
More than other types of people. This is a prime concoction for high crime rates. A lot of people would argue that. A lot of scientists have argued that. A lot of studies have shown that. And yet these people are being called racist, bigots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We go to this particular scientific study. This is a molecular psychology.
Oh, boy.
And I can't really access the entire thing without paying for it, unfortunately. But it says, genome-wide association studies establish that human intelligence is highly heritable and polygenic. So we don't know exactly how much. No one has solidified that 100%. But it's highly heritable. Intelligence is highly heritable. Data from twin and family studies are consistent with a high heritability of intelligence. But this inference has been controversial.
Now, I've heard someone else say that's not true with identical twin studies. So I don't know. But that seemed a lot more recent than
very eugenics-like. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing I saw seemed a lot more recent than Vince's 2011 article or whatever the fuck that was.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. Well, I do know, but I don't know what the studies found. Maybe that's the case. Do I think it's genetically based? To a degree. I think there's biological conditioning. But what happens if I step out of the conditioning? Right? I look good. There's something in your teeth. Oh, shit. Reality changed. You know, you're aggressive. I'm going to observe myself. Fuck, I am aggressive. Can I change that?
Sorry.
I don't know.
You can.
Why do these things sound so fucking simple? All right, let's continue.
So when they talk about twin studies, they talk about the studies that have been done on twins, identical twins, that, you know...
What up, Muay Thai?
That have grown up in different environments, in different parts of the country or in different parts of the world, but yet end up with basically the same IQ, with basically the same intelligence. So this is why...
Basically.
Please show me that, Vince.
Basically.
That. Yeah.
Basically.
It's a David Pakman. It's basically kind of sort of the truth.
It's like, what?
It's true.
You can't say, you go like, fuck.
Oh, it's true. Did I do that right?
What?
Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue.
They have determined from these twin studies that it's highly heritable. And also on top of that, they go through the methodology of this particular study, and then they say our results unequivocally confirm that a substantial portion of individual differences in human intelligence is due to genetic variation and are consistent with many genes of small effects underlying the additive genetic influences on intelligence.
Sounds a little cheery there. But regardless, he just blamed the lowering of the IQ on social media and not going out into nature. So it's like, it's very weird. Oh boy. So we can change the IQs. And if you're saying crime rates are because of genetics, why aren't you trying to change the environment to change the IQ levels? Why not? Why aren't you trying to change the environment then? If it's environmental things that can lower your IQ, why can't you cut those environmental things out to raise the IQs? Why isn't that his main goal? Why is it just keep them out? And for the European kids, we'll get them off of video games and social media, and we'll bring them out into nature to go shooting or whatever.
Take your kids hunting.
Does not
And shooting.
That did not make sense. All right, let's read some of these. Fucking piling up. You guys in your dirty language have to keep unblocking your messages.
You mean doity?
Propaganda. Throwing smoke. I'm not reading that, asshole.
Jeez.
Matt Hunter, give me an example of what you mean. When it comes to choice.
Ah.
You shouldn't even say morals. You should just say choice, period.
Choice. Okay.
Who or what makes a choice? Is it the brain, in which case it's not a choice?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a ghost in the machine? Is it, we're in a 3D reality? What is it? Simulation theory, and there's a gamer above us in the sky going, go left, go right. In which case that wouldn't be choice either. So
Maybe no free will.
Yeah.
So, all right. Who or what is the chooser? What?
if there's choice.
Yeah.
If you believe there's choice.
Yeah.
I'm not reading that either, Isaiah. Fucking savages. Savages in our fucking chat. Propaganda. Well, say, Jordan, go to the top of the stairs, and then a Shih Tzu beat him and hoped on your stupid fat mom. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Maybe it's some sort of new hip young
Oh, you guys
lingo.
are dissing each other. Never mind. Muay Thai called everyone fags.
Well,
It's not pleasant.
maybe today that word means awesome people. You didn't think about that, did you?
Propaganda. He believes a lot of the nationalism that the Nazis did. If you're talking about Vince, his ideology lined right up with the New Zealand shooter.
Yeah, and he avoided that shit like the fucking plague.
I read the entire manifesto, and it lines up perfectly, other than the violent part.
That's the only
I don't
difference.
think Vince would do violence like that.
Yeah, the New Zealand shooter said
or even recommend
the guys
violence.
with the guys with the graphs and shit.
yeah, he shit on Vince a little bit there.
Well, guys like him.
Yeah, you might have been talking about him.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
He has a pretty big following. Matt Hunter, what do you mean by moral decision? Say the choice is between giving or not giving a homeless individual a few bucks, which according to you would be a moral choice. Would be the moral choice. Well, that's a complicated scenario because there could be so many factors.
Oopsie.
Right. Well, let's try to lock it down into a vacuum because obviously you can step into the scenario where it's like quick, I need a few bucks. I need to buy this knife so I can stab this person. Right?
Yeah, fuck.
So it's like, you got to sort of. So let's say a homeless guy asking for money to get food.
Mm-hmm.
And in your mind, then it turns into intention, right? Like, why am I explaining this? I don't know.
Oh, it's okay.
All right. Well, let's say in your mind, it's like, I truly believe this guy will go and buy food with the money I give him, and he doesn't really have access to food. Then yeah, the moral thing would be to give him some bucks, give him some money.
Yeah, why not? Intentions matter, yeah.
Yeah. There's
Now,
also.
Hey, Bill, did you know that money you gave that homeless guy, he used it to buy a knife, and he went on a stabbing spree? It's like, no, I had no idea, but my intentions were different.
Yeah. Now there's also what we call the neutral people, which would be like, but I want to feed myself. Like I'm on my way to Burger King. I only got $5 in my pocket.
Right.
This guy's asking for money for food, but I'm hungry right now. It's like, sorry, dude, I ain't got no money on me.
No money for you.
No, well, yeah, whatever. They probably say out loud they don't have any money.
Yeah.
But in which case, if you're a neutral conditioned person, it's hard to even put it in morality terms because you haven't even stepped onto the game board yet, I would say.
So once again, I got to make the distinction between, biology as far as my brain and who I am, the individual.
Well, we're asking Matt,
Well,
who or what makes
that's what
choices?
I'm asking. Is it, yeah. Who or what is the chooser? Is it you or is it genetics?
And that's a fair question.
Well, yeah, because, that's what's gonna lead to eventually.
Isaiah says neither. It's up to you. Yeah, it's your choice, but it can be a moral scenario if you turn it into one, right? There needs to be a meaning-making machine, right? We have to put meaning into it to turn into a moral scenario, which makes it a moral choice. If I'm completely have no understanding of what money, what people are, what hunger is, or any of this, and I don't give them money, it's like, did I make an immoral decision?
No.
You need to have a context and understanding and a moral aptitude.
And for all you know, hey, like if you're just completely ignorant to the idea of like a homeless person, what they look like, what it consists of as far as the scenario or situation, it's like, oh, he's just hanging out on the ground.
Yeah.
In the rain.
He likes it here. He chose it.
Yeah. Like a child, like.
My dad told me they just
idea.
they didn't work hard enough because they wanted to stay outside. All right, whatever. Propaganda says, fuck you, Muay Thai. Your hair lip.
What does that mean?
Fucking Canadians, man, I swear it. Isaiah, but if you say no just because you're disgusted by the person, then you're a dick. See? Simple morality. Simple principles.
The question is, does that hold up?
Propaganda, you saggy-titted Irishmen. Still talking about Muay Thai.
Oh.
Like, oh, okay.
I'm not.
They're not saggy.
They're not.
Nice and perky.
No. It's kind of cold,
Alright, these guys are asking questions to each other. Your question presupposes free will.
I'm asking you who or what is the chooser.
No, it doesn't, because we already established that if your brain's choosing, then you're not really choosing. So it's not presupposing free will. It's bringing free will to the table.
Yeah, and you're going to have to. So that's why I'm asking you, who or what is the chooser? Because based off what you say...
We're just going with a social understanding of choice.
Oh, sure. And also, I'm going off based off what you... Based off what he's saying or what he's implying as far as a group of people are genetically predisposed to behave a certain way. So it's like, oh, okay. So let me ask you, who or what is the chooser?
Yeah.
And if you can't answer that, then, well...
Propaganda. Vince is too pussy, but he teaches people this crap. They have a high IQ in Vince education.
You see it.
That word doesn't, you can't really mix Vince and education together. It doesn't sound right. You should say Vince edumacation.
You see, at least a guy like Jared Taylor is going to be somewhat blunt
Yeah.
with this shit, you know? He'll be blunt.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what I mean.
Propaganda. Boys, my words fended off Muay Thai. Okay.
Hey, man, he's probably practicing on the bag right now, you know?
With a picture of your profile pic.
I'll get you one day.
Frosty, talking to Isaiah. Isaiah talking back. Matt Hunter, ask the question without implying choice exists. Okay, we'll go this way. Does choice exist? If it does, explain who or what chooses.
That's basically the question.
I thought he'd figure it out. I don't know. No, that's a fair question. That's a fair response by Matt.
The question itself.
That's a fair response by Matt.
The question itself will lead you towards that, you know.
It's still a fair response if you want to get down to it.
Fair enough.
Does choice exist? And we're just talking a typical social sense of choice, because we can go into a philosophical argument about, like, well, what is choice? But yeah, typical understanding of choice. And if you say yes, there is such a thing, who or what chooses?
Fuck. Foul ball.
Propaganda. Jordan and James are going to be the next Julian Assanges. I'm going to leak to you guys to publish.
Oh, if I were to do that, then you wouldn't see me.
You're going to go with, like, boy videos.
I'd disappear like that. Disappear.
Isaiah says, if there is no free will, then we are wasting our time talking about morality. Exactly. No choice, no morality. So you can see where we stand on choice.
Which is why when I hear a guy like Vincent James talk about the soul and claim he's a Christian, and yet he says we are genetically predisposed to behave a certain way. See the statistics? You see? It's like, all right, so you're not a Christian, right? Oh, no, I am. Well, that can't be because, you know, from what you're saying, you know, it's basically telling me there's no such thing as free will. There's no soul. There is no soul.
Not exactly. See, there could be a soul, but it just does nothing. It's just there, sitting there, doing nothing.
I have a different meaning for it then. Oh, that's gone.
If it's just sitting there doing nothing, then...
Oh, it's not gone. Fuck.
Also, what's all this judgment I hear in the Bible about God judgment, making judgments and shit like that? Heaven and hell. What's the point of that if you're not choosing anything? You're just sitting in a car and it's just auto drive. You have the soul has no impact on decision making. It's just sitting there.
Like an empty vessel.
And when we asked him this question, he said we were trolling. So just throw that out.
Yeah.
Isaiah says, I think free will or no free will is a malformed question. No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Free will or no free will? That's a bad question. I mean, you can get more specific and more detailed. It would get a lot more complicated.
What I'm basically trying to say is this, right?
But it's just a typical
You have a
understanding
car?
of, can we make choices?
Yeah, you have a car, right? You have the body of the car. Then there's the motor, right? Without the motor, the car really can't operate, right? Then you have the driver. I take the driver out of the equation, then what's the car?
On neutral
Yeah.
or in park. With
I'm
no keys
asking
turned
who's
on.
making the choices, or what? Who or what?
If you think there is free will.
Well,
If you think
the
there's
question
choice.
itself, and if you don't think there's choice, you know, then you'll say, oh, it's the brain, it's your genetics.
Yeah.
So see how the question itself, you know, it plays both parts. It's like, oh, like see, you're already what's the word? Already assuming that there's choice. Well, the question itself will say, okay, if there is choice, then you'll say, oh, yeah, who was the chooser? The individual. Okay. Or if you don't believe it is, then you'll say, oh, it's the brain. It's the genetics.
In broad terms, sure.
Well, I'm trying to be simple here.
Okay. Matt Hunter, so it's immoral to be disgusted by an individual's physical appearance.
I don't know where
Again,
you...
it depends. If you take a moral stance of, I will not judge anyone by their looks, and then you do that, it's like, doesn't that sound immoral? Wouldn't that be immoral? But if you're just playing it as neutral, as a neutral person,
That's not fair.
if you're playing it as a neutral person, then I guess it'd just be natural reaction. I mean, I'm not really judging children for throwing rocks at each other. I'm not judging them in some moral sense,
What?
super moral sense.
What?
Kids throwing rocks at each other.
Oh,
But
Well-
if one of them knows like this is the wrong thing to do, like,
That's
I'm gonna
completely
hurt.
different.
I'm gonna hurt this person.
I
Now
literally
you
look
stepped on the game board.
I look
See
at
the
it
difference there.
as a level. I don't want to call it a level. I look at it as maturity, you know? That's it, you know?
Yeah.
You know? You could have a 12-year-old who's just completely ignorant, has been sheltered their whole lives, you know? Never hurt nobody, nothing, you know? And they're outside for the first time maybe, like truly, playing with other people. Or just having some sort of experience as far as with another group of people. And they like let's say throwing rocks. I don't know why they're crying. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Like how would they know? Completely ignorant of the idea.
Sort of like the wolf example Matt brought up in some streams before.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, is the wolf immoral for eating the sheep or whatever animal he said? It's like, does he know that does he have the empathy of, oh, I'm fucking this thing up,
Yeah.
and it's really hurting them and all of that? Do domesticated dogs have that? I might think so. Can't say I know. Say
I would say
very sure.
intuitive for me.
All right. Isaiah, no, it's immoral to give money to one homeless person and not the other simply because of how they look. Once again, sitting at the adults table, you may really think that, oh, you have this type of appearance. That's evil. I've been raised to believe that's evil.
Yeah.
Now you're not really making a moral choice in that regard.
Mm.
Well, you are in the intentions realm, but it's not really, you know what I mean. In your
I know what you mean. I don't think they do.
in
so.
your intentions, you're looking at it as they're bad and those guys are good. Let's
Mhm.
help the good guys.
Mhm.
So just that simple,
Oh, so you'd say
bite-sized, childish
it's not
moral action.
Not to offend anybody, but it's a shallow idea. A shallow idea. This is the right thing to do. Here you go. Here's some money.
That's why I call guys who are quote-unquote racist, I don't really use that word. I say ignorant.
Yeah.
Because they really might think those are the bad guys and those
Yeah,
are the
they
good
might
guys.
they might think that.
It's like,
yeah.
oh, you're children.
Yeah.
I get it. Now, if you realize both are, like, they're just people,
Mhm.
and you still do that, you know, pitting one side against each other in a way,
Yeah.
it's like, okay. You're still ignorant, but it's a little bit deeper level of ignorance to where you might recognize it as corruption.
Yeah.
Because really, corruption is the crime against themselves more than.
Well, it will always begin there. You know?
And Isaiah says immoral should be in quotes. Yes. I disagree with that.
It would depend, man. It would all depend. You know. If I establish or we establish what we mean by immoral versus moral, you know, make the distinction between the two, and if you're using my meaning as opposed to what you mean by it, it's like you presenting ideas and I present my idea, and we're trying to get to the best possible idea of what a word means.
Yeah.
And let's say you know, we get to that, we get to it. This is what we mean. So we no longer need that quote like immoral.
Well,
in my opinion,
I was going to go on and just try to explain morality.
Oh, go ahead.
To a degree, I would consider something as in a. I was going to get woo-woo, but an action.
An action.
Without the self there.
Ah.
That would be immoral.
So it's like an empty action, you could say.
Yeah.
Mm.
Meaning.
It's almost like, like you're driving the car, and you just let go of the wheel and you close your eyes.
Meaning yourself or parts of yourself.
Mm.
Either one are not participating at all.
Okay.
Not even if it's just an inkling of yourself participating. Because sometimes you can have, there can be crimes of passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a party who's still there, but crimes of passion involve ignorance, correct?
Yeah.
As in, I'm so desperate for this thing that I commit this crime.
Sure.
And in your heart, it's like, I deserve this. It's like part of you still is sort of there, right?
Yeah.
It's not a completely empty.
So he's not himself.
Psychopath type of movement.
Like he's not himself. Like I think he is.
Psychopathic.
Yeah.
I don't want to say psychopath because then I'll turn it into people. Don't want to do that. Now, Hunter, in our society, as in most, I'll try to get through the comments faster, guys. Sorry. In our society, as in most civilized societies, individuals are held responsible for their choices. Well, we're asking you, okay, so you're saying there are choices. In that statement, you're saying there are choices.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm asking, what is the origin of the choice? Basically,
Yeah.
who or what chooses? Propaganda. Boys, I ate a whole block of cream cheese and fruit. I'm going to piss out my asshole tomorrow.
Dude, cream cheese is fucking awesome. And by the way, based off what he said right there, I don't mean to be picky, but I could pick that apart.
What Matt said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the New Zealand shooter or a school shooter. It's like they were fully aware of what they were doing. Were they? Were they fully aware, or is it a shallow representation of what they had of an idea that they had? You know, like this is what I'm doing. You know, like I don't think you really know what you're doing, because if you did, you wouldn't be doing this.
After reading his manifesto, and if I believed why he was doing it, like if I believed his motives, he really believed this shit. Same thing I say about like soldiers in armies that do crude shit, and they think that I'm doing this for freedom.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are expressing, as dark as it is. Once again, I'll say this for warning: if you're a child and you can't handle the words I'm about to say, you may leave. It's just that simple. But I would define those as the hero archetype.
Sure.
Now, the hero archetype does not mean shit unless you have the rest of yourself with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave empathy, you leave morality to the side. Well, not morality, but if you leave a full sense of morality.
I got you.
If you only bring in, I'm good, they're bad.
Yeah.
If you only bring that with you, if you leave parts of yourself behind, you can be expressing that hero archetype of, I'm doing the right thing to save everyone else. I'm sacrificing myself to save others.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to adulthood. Propaganda. We all have souls in our shoes, boys. That's the second time you fucking said that. I swear to God. We will deport you from this chat back to Canada.
Maybe propaganda realized like, there's other people here. No, they didn't hear this. They have to hear
They
it.
missed it. want to miss this. All right.
Like, hey guys, why is 6 afraid of 7? 'Cause 7, 8, 9. Oh, 2 people walked in the room. They didn't hear it. Hey guys.
Now, Hunter, imagine a murderer or rapist pleading to a judge. You see, Your Honor, the self does not exist. You see, the brain,
And what is your point? I mean,
So you're telling me the judges and the lawyers and the people who make the laws are fully realized human beings sitting at Jesus level understanding of themselves and the universe?
I would doubt that. Listen, you
That's basically what you're telling me.
let's see, Jordan, you killed your family. 500 years, 500 years in prison. Like, that'll teach you. I'm like, yeah, that's the way to go.
You know, a lot of those guys are looking for one of those.
It's called easy.
Done here.
Yeah. Like, I did justice.
All right, I'm trying to keep up with these. Propaganda sold to me is when you die twice. Once when you die, and then again when no one is around to tell your story. That's interesting.
I don't know, man. I died in front of everybody, but no one saw it.
I disagree, but that's interesting. Frosty Buckets. Isaiah, I suggest you block the YellBRo. How fucking dare you, Frosty? You're blocked. Not in the chat, just mentally I'm blocking you.
Staging a coup.
You're gonna get Venezuela'd.
Ooh.
Matt Hunter, and if one of your loved ones were one of his victims, you would have no problem answering your question of who makes moral decisions.
Wait, what?
You have to read the first one again. Imagine murder is pleading to a judge. You see, Your Honor. And if one of your loved ones were one of his victims, you would have no problem answering your question of who makes moral decisions.
Sure you want to go down this road?
The answer's too dark for the user. That sounds like the end of 7. With Brad Pitt.
Never saw it.
Oh, no.
Never saw it.
You never seen 7?
Mm-mm.
Fuck. Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, the Kid Toucher.
Ooh.
What's his name? House of Cards.
Kevin Spacey, bro.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey.
KP.
I don't mean to say that. Alleged Kid Toucher. I apologize.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Good actor, though.
What's in the box?
Great. You're gonna. It's probably not that, but it's funny. It's like
It's one of those quotes you just read.
it's like, you big lip beast, and then he touches his lip. See, that didn't happen, but it's funny. So, who knows if that's actually what was being said? Or the way you do it. It's probably more funny. No.
Damn, Frosty just dissed you.
Oh, really?
Not you. Diss Matt.
Oh.
You don't even have a thumbnail. Get lost.
Fuck. I don't think that's important.
So stop ghosting.
Like I said, though, going off what Matt said, are you sure you want to go there? Because, my answer would be the same regardless if it was one of my loved ones or someone I didn't know. So, but I'm asking you, what is the chooser? And I'm waiting. So,
Isaiah says, we try to agree on laws, and then we try those who are accused of breaking them. Yeah. Baby steps. I mean, they're trying. I give them credit for that. Most people are trying.
The intentions is what I look at, I would say.
I think most people are trying.
But when I see someone, right, who shoots up a school, and then the solution is, all right, we'll just throw him in prison for the rest of his life. I'm like, yeah, that solves the problem. Way to go, guys. It's like, in a way, it's like the roof is, you're getting fucking water dripping down from the roof. Well, how do we fix this? We'll get a bucket. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, great, guys.
And then it's just banded Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Alright, Matt Hunter says something to Isaiah. Yeah, get him. Weird ass emojis.
Strike 3.
Propaganda says, I'll show you my immorality.
Look.
Alright.
Video.
Yeah. Got 3 minutes left in the video. I want to finish this shit. It's getting late. I mean early.
Pussy.
Time moves backwards here. Alright, here we go. We're finishing up Vincent James's video on IQ.
Dude, it's only 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Are you
Here in
tired?
the sunny climes of Western Japan.
Western Japan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Watch, he doesn't even live. He just
The sunny
he
climes
says
of
that
Western
to throw people off.
I know.
He probably lives right. He probably lives next door to Dawson. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Next door.
Alright. Let's continue this video. Vincent James talking about the decrease in IQs. Here we go.
in this
even know
particular scientific study.
saw
Now, there was
Hmm.
another study by Rushton Jensen, which I've talked about before on this channel. This is a Berkeley, I think out of Berkeley. And they go on to say the new evidence reviewed here points to some genetic component in black-white differences in mean IQ. The implication for public policy is that the discrimination model, i.e. black-white differences in socially valued outcomes, will be equal barring discrimination, must be tempered by a distributional model, i.e. black-white outcomes reflect underlying group characteristics. So a lot of these scientific studies that you go through and that you look at, a lot of these broad studies that you go through and you look at, actually suggest that IQ and intelligence are highly heritable. But yet when the guy who basically discovered DNA, he discovered that DNA was a double helix structure. Do
I need to say it again?
We've been through this,
Bad
but
James Watson.
we can just say it again.
I'll just put it this way. I think he's a guy who, since he's a geneticist, and I guess he's very into genetics or whatever. I mean, that's his claim to fame, the DNA strands.
Yeah.
I think he sees everything as genetics, such as, homosexuality can be changed in the baby's genes before they're born. So you can make them gay, make them straight.
I know. Like
If they're ugly, you can make them good looking. If they're short, you can make them tall. Things like Kate Moss is depressed because she's skinny, and skinny people are more likely to be sad. Something like that.
Something like that. Perfect game.
Whatever. We've talked about it before. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Alright.
I maxed all his stats out, so it don't really count.
So I figured Vincent James would catch wind of those stories, but I guess he hasn't.
Like I said earlier, right? When you only see things through like a tunnel vision, through a specific when you only see ways.
pussy.
My bad. What?
You gotta walk.
I did? Oh, no hitter then.
Whatever.
When you see things only through statistics, and you have the human question that's in front of you, I don't blame him. I don't think he's racist.
No, it's exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
When it's
Like the silly people are the ones that call him racist. It's like, hey guys, he believes this. Everything is determined through genetics.
if you don't think someone is really
My bad. So when he's handing statistics, what the fuck do you think he's gonna say? You know?
if you don't think someone who's really smart in certain areas, if you don't think they can be conditioned, then I think you're a silly person. They could easily be conditioned.
Sure.
I mean, there are plenty of Nazi scientists, like super genius scientists, working for the Nazis. Maybe that was fear, for all I know.
It could be.
But I'm assuming, just law of averages, there'd be someone who's like, yeah, we're doing it. Let's go Hitler. Who's like a super genius in this one area or whatever.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And we will win the war.
Operation Paperclip.
General Hans, yes.
NASA.
We have lost the war. Scheiße.
All right, let's finish this video up.
discovered the structure of DNA. James D. Watson is his name. A Nobel Prize in 1962 for discovering that DNA was a double helix. He lost a job in 2007 for expressing quote-unquote racist views. And then this...
I don't think he should have lost his job.
No, not at all.
It's
I mean it, not at all.
You guys are in this lane. Why not use that lane to quote-unquote debunk them or whatever?
Yeah.
And I think there are people that are like, this is wrong on a genetic level.
Yeah.
But
so, I mean...
I don't know that. I don't know. I've heard that, though.
From what I remember when we discussed
Irish
it...
lady. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that, yeah. So, I don't know the name. Don't remember the name.
All right, let's continue.
This is a recent thing. I covered this on this channel quite a little while ago when this first came out back in January of 2019, a few months ago.
So did everyone
This
else
DNA pioneer, James Watson, 90, is stripped of his of his honorary titles after doubling down on his, quote, reprehensible views that genes cause a difference between black people and white people on IQ tests. And this all of this is a mixture. All of this is based on a mixture of different things, by the way. All of this can be due to social media, can be due to heritability, can be due to fatherless homes increasing in all communities, by the way, can be...
Wasn't he just saying that it was fact?
See...
I'm tripping, man. I don't know if he said that or not. I thought he said it was fact, and now it's like, it could be this, it could
correlation,
be that.
Causation.
Yeah.
If he's ever up there with someone who's prepared and legitimate,
Yeah.
it's going to be a sad, embarrassing event. Really. I'm not kidding, really.
Yeah.
There's fucking tricky guys, right? Like if you're not prepared for Stefan Molyneux, good luck.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared, you're going to embarrass that guy.
Yeah. One of his followers actually did. Well, several times that's happened. But most notably was
call them followers. It's like a cult.
Most notably was the determinism video.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh fuck, you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
And the chat saw that.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Due to, an increase in psychotropic drugs being prescribed to children. We went from 2% in 1950 of children prescribed with psychotropic drugs to today, which is like
That just brings up a theory to me, like, you can give me psychotropic drugs. I think I'll be fine. Do I know why? Because, one, I know myself, and two, I know I'm taking this drug. So whatever, like, if I start seeing colors everywhere, it's like, oh, me. I'm me seeing colors.
I just want to see Jimmy. That's all I want.
Hendrix?
Yeah.
Mushrooms, maybe? You could probably time travel with
I
that.
thought about it, but I just don't know where.
a third of children being prescribed with psychotropic drugs. Then you have all the effects of fatherless homes where single mothers can't even raise kids, let alone run the world like they want to, where you have 60% of federal prisoners come out of single mother households. You have 70% of teen pregnancies come out of single mother households. You have 60% of...
See, the process of elimination has become somewhat of an acquired skill, I guess, Single mom. What about a single dad? Now he has to work. So does the mom. Mom has to work all goddamn day. Doesn't get to see the kid.
Well, Western countries are amongst the highest for single dad homes as well. But moms outdo the dads by a lot.
I see.
But they're still the highest in the world, the Western countries.
See what you do.
What?
You see what you do?
What did I do?
You know what you did.
What did I do?
It's your fault.
I'm sorry.
The single moms.
Ah, yeah. My bad.
That's right. You're going to apologize for everybody else.
Or
I'm here to pick up my kid.
people commit...
All right. We'll be back next week to pick him up again.
You stole that from somewhere.
I did.
Where?
Wayne's. Giving you a hint.
Wayne's World?
No. They couldn't
Wayne
say-
Brady. Chappelle Show.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Come on.
Whose line is it, anyways?
One of the Wayne's bros. It's one of them.
Oh, Wayne Bro.
It's a sus one. He said it in a movie.
Menace to Society,
No, fuck, he's not in that.
isn't he? Oh no, he was in the comedy version of that movie. Fuck, I don't care anymore.
It's a spoof. You know what I mean? It was funny.
Here we go.
He's such a
Suicide
good
who
guy.
come out of single mother households. You have 70% of high school dropouts who come out of single mother households. So all of this kind of ties in together, and really no one wants to admit the truth. No one wants to admit the truth.
Oh,
I suggest you read another book.
You see, all these assumptions I'm making, you know? No one wants to admit the truth. This is the truth. It's like, what? You
Yeah, it
can't,
didn't
you
make
can't
sense.
fucking, you can't.
It's like, I don't know. It could be this. It could be this. It could be this. I don't know. But no one wants to admit the truth. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know. Ready?
What?
Every guy, like, it doesn't matter who you are or what part of the world. Every person wearing a black hat is more likely to hit and beat up old people. I mean, they don't want to admit the truth. I mean, I just keep seeing it happening. I don't know why. They just don't want to admit the truth. You see the problem with that? What I just said right there?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, this will not fucking fly if he's up on some podium with against someone who's legitimate.
Yeah, I would say so.
This is why this guy will never be on RT. He will not
RT?
have RT. Yeah.
Nah, he wouldn't be on it. He's too like pro-Trump leaning to where some real journalist is just gonna crush him.
Oh, that's what I mean.
It's like Trump did this. You worried about immigration? Well, he's done this.
This is what I mean, though. He will stay away from that.
Yeah.
You see, he'll go after or schedule a debate with Destiny, who he probably thought was some sort of like video game dumbass. You know?
No. Destiny's pretty.
No. I'm saying what he thought.
I don't know about that. I think Destiny's pretty known for. He's known for debating, but he debated him on a topic where it's like, this guy's
I
a
see.
leftist who wants to, sort of wants to get rid of guns. And shit
Okay.
like that. So it's like,
To me, it's the same shit. It's like, you see how whatever argument he makes, there's room for, as far as a leftist,
yeah,
the argument that they make, or an SJW, the argument that they made is shallow and silly, but it gives you room to make yours. And at the end of the day, you'll just be going back and forth.
Well, when it comes to guns, I think so, for sure.
Well, that's why they have to isolate.
They stepped out into other political arguments.
That's why they have to isolate. That's why they have to isolate a topic like guns.
Yeah.
You can only hang there, But in reality, in the real world, see how like they talk about guns and it slowly starts talking about people.
Well, there's only so far you can go until you have to get into the question of human nature, and then that's when ideologies start taking, at least in the gun argument, right? Because there's people.
Well, you remember
people are pulling the triggers.
Yeah. So do you remember their second video, where it's like you see how it's always going to come back here?
Yeah.
Like what? Hey, like do you yeah? I know you think black people cause more crime. He's like whoa.
Yeah. Or even when he says gangs, the John Locke guy's like, well, we have the war on drugs here.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, we should build up education for these kids in schools, like better schools for these guys. And it's like, fuck. That was the wrong dude to bring on. Anyways, let's continue. Last, 40 seconds. Last minute.
It's called The Boy Crisis, and I don't have it on this shelf. I have it on my other shelf in the other room. The Boy Crisis, which talks about how important it is to have a male role model, an actual male role model in the life of a boy.
Metaphysically speaking, I would say you need a healthy, developing masculine. Masculine is your expression tool. And most people just usually imitate the people around them.
So it doesn't matter if you have a dick or not.
No, I mean metaphysical, masculine.
Right. You see.
Your order. It's your structure. Right, your order that you're creating from all these different concepts called the feminine, which is like chaos, as like Jordan Peterson might say. Make it palatable for people. It's because he's Canadian, that's why.
You need a real one, a real male role model. It's like, shut up, man, fuck.
So yeah, like
why?
kids could have a mom with a strong masculine, but if the kid's conditioned by the society around them toward like, oh, you run like a girl, you throw like a girl, you do like a girl, why you listen to women like that, and blah 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 blah, then it's like, okay, I can't listen to my mom because whatever reason. Let's continue.
From prepubescent stages to post-pubescent stages and how important that is. Go ahead and check out that book. Check out the bell curve. Check out We Wanted Workers. And
check out the bell curve where he'll basically discredit a bunch of things that I say.
Maybe.
If we really get down to it, right?
Interesting people funded those studies, I think.
Oh, sure. But nonetheless, the person who the book, Charles Murray.
Yeah, but I wouldn't rely on that.
I'm not relying. Look, I'm just saying, this over here, I want to hear you talk about it.
Okay.
What consists of the individual now? But you won't talk about it. That's the problem.
No.
That's the problem I have.
All right, fair enough. Here we go.
It's like, I recommend this book, but just read pages 1 through 20, and then 30 through 40, and that's it. Like, isn't there 80 pages? Yeah, just don't worry about those. It's like, fuck, man, then what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
And yeah, so right now we're stuck with kind of scratching the surface of some of the problems we face in society. Videos are posted every single day here about breaking news.
Oh, all right.
And once again, this fucker posts a black and white photo of a white family from the 1950s, I would assume, where everything was perfect.
The golden era.
Fuck out of here.
All right, let me get through these because I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
All right, manager says, so you can easily morally chastise the U.S. government for wars and shit, but you wouldn't morally chastise your daughter's raper and killer.
Say it again.
You can easily morally chastise the U.S. government for wars and shit, but you wouldn't morally chastise your daughter's raper and killer. I tried to read the scenario the best I could.
Yeah. See, you
seems like I'm gaining territory for power. That could be that guy too.
Sure.
So it's like you pointed out.
Yeah.
Also, I look at it less as well. We definitely throw jokes at the U.S. government. At the same time, it's like we're still just pointing out things they do.
Yeah.
Just like I would point out something a rapist and murderer do.
Sure, regardless of whether it was like my daughter or my cousin or my mom or dad, whatever's friend.
I think the problem is,
you see,
Matt usually reads when we talk about, actual events happening.
No.
Like actual events. He takes it as you're insulting the U.S. or you're blaming Whitey.
Well, if that's what he thinks, then he's ignorant. And just because it's some sort of like, well, you'll feel differently if it's your daughter. It's like, no. And if you're not ready to talk about that, then
Propaganda. What's in the bottle, Jordan? Roof water? You Americans don't have any clean water. Well, out here in Alaska, we have our own lake we could just walk to.
I have a super filter.
It's owned by Monsanto. Propaganda. Aren't you guys in Oakland? Yeah, Oakland, Alaska.
I have an apartment in Oakland.
It's where Too Short's from. Making fun of Matt. James, do you play PS3 while you live stream, you prick?
No, I don't.
I can see the joke there. Propaganda calls Vincent James a Russian. Follow him on Twitter. on Titter. I think he got banned on Twitter.
Did he?
I think so.
Oh.
That would have made things a lot easier because I can get the people on Twitter.
I just gave my Instagram. Oh no, you just download the app, man. For Instagram for the podcast.
Propaganda saying Matt scared all the viewers away.
If he scared them away, then they shouldn't be here.
I think they realized we were winding down.
Yeah.
That or it's just whatever. It's fucking late.
I don't want people We're like, oh, I'm gonna get scared away if they say stuff like this. All right, good. Get out. You shouldn't be here. Leave.
I don't know. Maybe I'm prideful, or I was prideful to where I'm like, oh, a challenge to like, I don't know. Like I had no queries about looking stupid. I just fucking dove in.
My thing is you either
Oh, granted, I stepped to the side. Like I'm a dumbass. I'm gonna learn now.
I'm gonna learn either way. So
Different route for everybody. Frosty says at Isaiah, so James is J-Rock. A little sus, I don't know.
now you know what J-Rock is. You know who J-Rock is?
TDE.
He's one of the best rappers who ever lived.
Does he rap with Kendrick Lamar?
No.
No. I don't know who J-Rock is. Propaganda. Boys, I'm growing strawberries next to my 3 legal cannabis plants. I grow some shrooms and send them to you to do on a live stream. Go pro on the head if you leave the house.
If only you were closer, then I'd definitely do it.
I would not live stream tripping on mushrooms.
I'll be okay.
Propaganda. Check out the bell curve. And it's emojis of guys lifting weights. Propaganda. Y'all gonna cover a Tulsi or Trump rally? Maybe burn Doc too. I'm tired of all this shit. I'm like, let's get to the debates like right now. Let's just go there.
Yeah.
But I was gonna do a video on Sanders. Basically murking MSNBC on their channel.
Yeah, and they make sure they had to play defense. Like, oh, let's interrupt you, and we're gonna end this quick. My name's Chuck Todd.
Propaganda. Allergic to the letter A says Instagram is crap.
It's something, so better than nothing.
Do y'all drink heavily, or is that just a stereotype about Americans?
Aren't you Irish? Right?
I don't know. That's Muay Thai.
Oh, my bad. I don't. Oh.
Propaganda's Canadian.
Oh, Canadian. Oh, this is maple syrup, right?
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water.
They eat hockey pucks.
American stereotype. I don't think it's alcohol. I think it's fucking people being fat and shit,
I mean, when they get huge, Tulsi rallies will get huge. Yeah, leading up to the debates and maybe. Oh yeah, I'll definitely look at shit like that. Get on butter, James. I'll get on Twitter, James.
I got vegan butter up there. And
My eyesight is so fucking bad. I literally saw butter from
says
back
Twitter.
here. Yeah, I said butter. That's what I saw from back here.
I heard there's eye exercise you could do to improve.
Nah, I'm fine.
Pussy.
And with all that said, please subscribe if you like. Comment.
Jordan, it can help
Agree,
you.
disagree. Tell us what IQ is. Tell us what your IQ
Can help you
is.
see better. That way you can save maybe a child from in the street. Maybe you're far distance away. Nah, I'm fine.
You tell us how
Fuck
to
it.
save the world. Donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link in the description box. Website in the intro to this video. You guys should check it. Should get minds.com. Go to a Trump rally. I heard of Minds. What is that? That's Nah, that's a real thing. That's is that Nico House? Is that what he goes to? Yeah. His is Just Informed or something like that. I'll look into it. Alright, that is it from us, guys. Donate Devon's Journey to Recovery. Not for us, for charity. Helping someone else pay their medical bills. Because shit, it could happen to you. GoFundMe link is down there. And with all that said, give this video and propaganda a thumbs down. Ja.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a car. hands in leather.